This is the Rafael Nadal forehand analysis. So the first thing I want to talk about is even when Nadal is holding the racket in the ready position, he holds it with a forehand grip, as you can see here, and the top of the racket is higher than his grip level, so which is good leverage in the ready position. And the reason he holds his racket like this is because he's looking to hit that forehand as often as possible. So anything that he can hit with a forehand, Nadal is going to hit with his forehand. That's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing, as you can see here, the strings of the racket are pointing downwards towards the opponent, and as he turns his shoulder and the body, the unit turn, that's the first step in the Nadal forehand, the strings end up facing the left side of the court. The non-hitting hand, that's his right hand, is holding the throat of the racket, which is very common amongst most good forehands. His right shoulder, as Nadal is a left-hander, is now facing the net, and his whole body is going to turn completely sideways as he takes the racket back. So here, his right arm has separated from the racket. The top of Nadal's racket head is much higher than his grip level, which is creating huge leverage, and from here is going to travel, the racket is going to travel all the way down, and this gives him a lot of space to accelerate. So this position here is a perfect position to reach if you want to have a good forehand. So now from this position here, let's watch Nadal's racket head, what it does. He starts to drop it, the strings then face the back of the court and down to the ground. The strings facing this position is going to make huge topspin when Nadal finally opens his strings at the contact point. So now the strings are dropping. As you can see here, the strings are completely facing the ground now. His right hand has started opening up towards the ball. In this position here, it looks as if Nadal is going to catch the ball with his right hand. As you can see, the shoulders are completely square onto the net. Even his legs are square onto the net in this forehand. So now you can see the right arm pulling away, opening up the shoulders. This right arm pulling away starts the shoulders opening up towards the net. His left arm has started to extend, and the bottom of the racket here, the butt cap of the racket, is now going to point towards the oncoming ball. So as you can see here, the bottom of the racket now is leading the way towards the ball. As you can see, the wrist is really laid back in this position, but Nadal hasn't forced this. This has happened because his arm is relaxed. He has great leverage from the back position, and he has a great shoulder turn as he comes forward to the ball. Also notice that the hold of the racket head in this position here is under the ball level. So from this position, Nadal's going to brush up the back of the ball as he hits the ball, and the whole of the racket head here, is under the ball level. As you can see, as it comes towards the ball, the racket head is still under the ball level. He hits the ball in front of him, far in front of him, and now watch how his left arm pulls in to the body. A common thing that people talk about when they speak about Nadal's forehand is how he follows through, how he does his follow through over his head. But the majority of his forehands, especially in training, he finishes normal across the chest, and he uses his bicep muscle to pull the racket and the arm in towards his body.